3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Some of you know our first guest as Sweetie Pie of Sweetie Pie's restaurant. Miss Robbie Montgomery grew up in Columbus, Mississippi. She became an American soul singer and restaurateur. Miss Robbie is noted for being one of the original Ikettes in the Ike and Tina Turner Review in the 1960s. After her tenure as an Ikeette, she was a member of the Murettes and then became a night tripper for Dr. John. You have to tell us what that is, honey. In the 1970s, however, Miss Robbie was a background vocalist for acts such as Stevie Wonder, Barbra Streisand, really? The Rolling Stones, and Joe Cocker. She later created the Sweetie Pies franchise, yum, 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 and starred. And we welcome you all to the Jamie Foster Brown Show. Let's talk about your life as an Ikeette, which started in the 60s, which consisted of you, Vanetta Fields, and Jessie Smith. And you all had hits like I'm Blue. Is that like I'm Blue? I'm blue.
You could sing.
Still don't know. And peaches and cream.
Yes.
How does that go?
Peaches. Peaches and cream. All right.
Later, you all will become the Murettes. Now, how do you become, or how did you become an Ikeette?
Well, we were originally Ikettes, Jamie, and so when we left to go on our own, we went to a record label that was called Mirwood. The Ikettes went to Mirwood, and they said, well, you got to have a new name.
Uh-huh.
And so all we could think of was the Murettes, because the record label was called Mirwood. So
I never heard of that one. Did they have other artists?
Yeah, they had quite a few artists back in those days. I can't remember any of them. But so we went there, got a contract, and just changed our name right on the spot to Murettes. Okay. And we had in the midnight hour, we had a couple of mediocre hits, you know, Stand By Your Man. We covered Stand By Your Man. We had a couple of things there. And
the midnight hour, what was that? How did that sound?
That was Wilson Pickett's in them. I'm gonna wait till them. Yeah, the same one. So we covered that and had a little we did covers back there and had a little mediocre hits, and as the Murettes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, who came up with the choreography for the group? Because you ladies would tear that entire stage to pieces.
Well, we all kind of came up with it. When we left St. Louis, we played at this white club called the Imperial, Club Imperial. It was a white club, and they had this dance called the Shindig. I can't remember the dance, but anyway, we took that as a line dance, and we would kick up our heels and stomp. That was the dance that they used back then in those days. So we kind of would add as we would go, shake a tail feather, and you know, shaking this hair. And all that stuff. That was, Ike would say, Tina, and back those days, her name was Ann. And them girls ain't shaking their hair. So we have to throw that hair, baby. We'd have to throw that hair.
That was amazing. He was amazing how intuitive he was and how he knew what would sell and what.
Exactly. He was a smart businessman. He really was. I mean, he had his faults, which didn't apply to us because we were just employees. And later on in life, as I became an employer, I understand a lot of the things that he was under, the pressure that he was under.
Give me an example of that. Give me an example of
Oh,
that.
you know, like he has things that, I mean, we represented him. And that's why I tell my employees today, you represent me, I represent you. If you go out there looking like a bum, then we all gonna feel like a bum. You gotta put your best foot forward. He didn't want any runs in your stocking. He wanted everybody in uniform. And that's the same way I am today. I want everything to coordinate. I want it all looking peaceful. When you walk in there, I want you to look professional. And all this came from Ike, you know, things that I learned when I was with him.
Well, when you all learned these things, it was a different reception from, at that time, we were, from the people that you had in your shop, right? It was because we got younger children now. There are so many outside forces coming in, you know, that can maybe combat what you're telling the kids to do.
Right.
You know, tell me the difference now. With you all, when I said something.
It's totally different now, but the same rules apply.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
it's just like what our mom told us. We didn't believe it then, but as adults, we can look back. My aunt used to say, joy cometh in the morning.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I didn't understand that. But now as an adult, I can't hardly wait for the morning.
Yes.
Some days, you know, because I know there's going to be a change.
Well, what was it like working with Tina? You know,
well, she was one of us. She
So-
wasn't the big Tina. She was an employee also. So, go on. I'm sorry, Jane.
Did you feel sad for her when you would see how in the movie it shows that the women knew the pressure that she was under? They were mournful for her.
Well, I hate to say the movie, some of it was right and some of it is wrong. I never saw that. Now, I was an original. I never saw it, but we know what was taking place, but we never saw it. Actually, we knew, because if we were mad at, if she was mad at him, she was had to be mad with us. But that was just the way it was. We knew that if she got on the bus and she was quiet, we knew that she had had an argument with Ike. But to actually see it, I cannot say that. But it was just unspoken things that we knew took place.
How did you all not be jealous of her? Because when she came, I mean, she just took over everything. She sucked up all the air in the room. I mean, do you just start?
That was her job, to suck up the air, and we were there to blow it out behind her.
Right,
So,
right.
it
And that
wasn't-
dancing. Can you still move like that?
Oh, baby, I got one tail feather left, and I can still shake it.
We gotta get these tail feathers together, because I love to dance. Okay.
All right.
Would you consider Ike Turner a genius and ahead of his time during that era?
I think so. And he didn't know it himself. I think he was an insecure man and needed a lot of people around him to approve of what he was doing. I mean, I don't like rejection. I don't like the word no, but it's out there. It's a part of life. So you have to be able to accept it. And a lot of people can't do that. So he was a very insecure man.
What do you miss most about those days?
Well, I'm not going to say I miss a lot of it, but singing is my first love, I say, and chicken is my second. So in chicken,
You took up the honey. You seem like that chicken. I never got any of that food, you know.
Oh,
but we
gotta come.
We're gonna have a conversation after this.
Okay.
Okay. But for those who are not aware, Miss Robbie has a new single out called "Ain't My Stuff Good Enough."
That's right.
Let me sing it. Should I sing it? No, you sing.
Yes, you sing it. You sing it, please. Ain't my stuff good enough? All right.
You've been giving me just enough.
Now you're off to greener pastures,
Looking for some better stuff.
looking for some better stuff.
Hey.
Green grass grows right beneath your nose.
I'm sitting here, I'm ready, waiting for you, sending for you.
But the green grass grows right beneath your nose.
Hey, baby. So why you out creeping, scheming, trying to find someone new?
Do your thing.
What's the matter, baby?
Ain't my stuff good enough?
Ain't I good to
that song was written for the Ikettes 40 years ago. And Jamie, they banned the song. They said it was too nasty. Now I need some mud to throw on it because it ain't nasty enough. Now that I look back, I'm like, what was nasty about it?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the word stuff. But it can apply to anything. I mean, if you're on a job and you working, you putting your hard work in and everybody get promoted, but you wonder, ain't my stuff
That's
good
not
enough?
good enough. You
Yeah.
wrote this song. You wrote this song.
My girlfriend, Shirley Matthews, who was a background singer in LA.
Okay.
So she sang with everybody, all the backgrounds and all that stuff. She wrote the song.
I can't wait to get with you. But anyway, okay, all right.
Okay.
You had implemented a show, which I would love to see, but due to the pandemic, it has been put on hold. I
Yeah.
call it the pandemic. Okay.
That's what it is.
This virus refuses to go away. Who would that show have? What would this show have been like?
So I call this show A Night to Remember. I was going to have gospel, comedy, and R&B. The young lady that was the gospel singer, her name was Erica Reed. And the young man was Jay Lamont, who's a very successful comedian, really, really funny. And I was going to be the R&B. So due to the COVID, we had to put it on hold. It was supposed to have been October the 1st in St. Louis at the Shelton.
Okay, I see how you're a fighter. I
Yeah.
actually loved you in that kitchen. I loved how you were teaching in that kitchen. I said, oh, that's my kind of person. I don't see many me's.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But due to the pandemic, a lot has happened. So let me just ask you this. How is Tim? Just give me.
Okay, Tim is good. We're at a standstill. We're waiting on everything. He's praying and we're praying that this turn out, like we wanted and the way God's in control. We don't have anything to do about it, but he's fine. He's fine. I talk to him twice a day to make sure, because this is my child. I worry about him.
Absolutely.
Where he's locked up or wherever he is, I worry about him. So I talk to him twice a day and he's good.
He's doing better. Is he getting any kind of help in there? Because he should be.
No, they're not doing anything. They don't even have a mask. No.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No, they don't have masks. They don't have nothing. Just.
Are you able to see him?
No. I can see him because I paid for the video chat, but we can't visit him.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But he's up. I mean,
he's up. No haircut. They can't get a haircut. I mean, he looks like a wolf man. Looks like a whole different person. But he's in good. So he has his good days and his bad days. We all do.
I wish you, your family, blessings on you all. I know what this must have been like.
It's devastating.
For you. I know.
It's devastating.
Devastating. And I look at you that you keep keeping on. That's your child.
Yeah.
And no matter what happens, that's your heart.
That's right.
That's torn apart, So, but we hope that he gets better, and we figure it out what happened. That's important. Okay, thank you for just sharing. Now I want to. We got this lovely lady sitting there, and Miss Robbie, do you and Miss Kalita Chris collaborate together on special projects, or is this something you both help put together? And tell us about this new project.
This was our first collaboration. Doing the concert to bring mental health and homeless together. So since it's been postponed, I'm going to let Kalita sort of talk to you about that. I have a shelter where it's for families with kids, whether it's a man or a woman, but you have to have kids. And I kind of support that. And Kalita is more on the mental health, but the two sort of connect together.
Okay, Miss Kalita, how are you? Thank you for joining us. I'm really happy about that, And I'm in love with Black people. So let me just get this straight. I know, I just come at you with love. Whatever, I could disagree with you, but I'm going to come at you with love. Okay. Okay. Tell me about yourself and Empower Me. It's a nonprofit organization in Ferguson, Missouri. Right?
Yes,
Okay.
we're a nonprofit. We're a nonprofit located in Ferguson, Missouri. And what we do is we provide organizational payee services to individuals who receive benefits through the Social Security and Veterans Administration. And so what that means is their checks come to us and we manage their benefits.
Really?
Okay. Yes. And we're called a payee. And what that looks like is the checks come into us. We open up accounts for our clients. The checks are deposited into those accounts. We then use that money to make sure that their basic needs are being met. Once we meet their basic needs, we set up individualized budgets where we then go in and talk about their discretionary spending. And it's just set up to their discretion because we've already paid their bills. A little bit about myself. I have a couple of about 15 plus years of experience working in community mental health. So this is my career field. This is what I've done for basically my career. And as I was doing that job, and I was direct care, I was on the ground, helping people, taking them to appointments, making sure medication was right, advocating in all areas for individuals. And so as I worked for a pretty large organization as here in St. Louis, a very large organization. And so I had access to a lot of things when it comes to resources and what was out there. We call it our social safety net. What type of resources were out there to assist individuals who had chronic mental illness. So what I discovered while doing that was that the gaps in the system was preventing people from, like, I guess, just to kind of put it in a lame term, just living their best life. It really had an impact on their ability to deal with and manage their symptoms, be it chronic mental health or substance use, PTSD, homelessness, because there are major gaps in our system. So when I decided a few years ago, 5 years ago, exactly, I had a baby. So after I had that baby, I made the decision that I was not going to go back to that organization because I felt that I could be more impactful doing something in a way where I could directly guide the services that we offer and make sure that people are getting the things that I know from being on the ground that they need. Because our motivation for what we do is to help people improve their wellness. We don't have that profit motivation like some of those. I mean, of course, we have to make a profit, but that's not what drives our services that we offer. So me and my partner, a good friend of mine, he also worked with me at this community mental health agency. So we got together and we just talked about, like, what could we do? What do we feel like was causing people to have just the hardest time recovering or just stabilizing? And money is a big thing. Money is a big thing. And so what happens with us, oftentimes, we don't want to address people's financial situation because your financial situation is so tied into your identity. So people try to say, because you have this money, then you're this type of person. And so even in the community, in mental health, and dealing with mental health and substance use and developmental delays and all those things that come under that umbrella of mental health.
This is very interesting. What she is doing. I have first of all, I want to know how you got involved with that. Well, until we can get Kalita back on, tell me how.
Well, my charity is called Gateway 180, which is an organization in St. Louis. Like I say, it's for homeless families. It doesn't mean that the woman has to have the kids. The man could be homeless and have the kids. So I was impressed with that because they needed help too. And sometimes men are the head of the family and the woman leaves and leave him with the kids. So this was an organization that catered to that. And so I was really impressed with that. I'll go down, Sweetie Pies with staff, we go down and fix lunch and feed them. And then Christmas time, I made sure that I took a bunch of gifts down there because the excitement when the kids, and it got to the point where the kids saw me, they knew something good was going to happen.
And delicious.
And then I was just pumped up to be there. Oh, honey, I would lay it all out and wait for the kids to come down. So that was my organization. And I would go and buy things. It's like probably about a 20-room apartment or something like that. And each family, each parent with their kids are in this one room. I would give them toothpaste, toothbrushes, socks, all the things that they need because they were displaced. They didn't have anything. And TVs, I would take just whatever I could do to help this family. And then when I met Khalid about her mental health, well, the two are kind of joined together. I have a brother that's mentally challenged, and my mom died, and her one wish was for me to take care of this brother. And honey, I carry him like one of these Gucci bags. I carry him every place. I don't leave home without him. I don't leave home.
This is I'm actually very jealous.
Are you?
I'm envious because I think, and I said, and I should beat myself up because I stay inside because of the pandemic and all that.
When we felt like we didn't have anything, it was music that gave us a voice. We could tell each other in a song what we couldn't say in words. Learning music changed us, making us even smarter. We learned to harmonize together. And now we can go anywhere our dreams take us.
My mom, I'm the oldest of 9. And my mom used to say, it's enough for y'all to help each other. If one of y'all make it, reach down and pull the others up.
That's right.
So that's been, my family is very close, very close. And she always instilled on us, if one person make it, then the others should reach down and help the others. The best, now sometimes you can't help everybody, but that's for you to know. What I do that in my work in the restaurant. Sweetie Pie is known for giving second chances. I hire ex-offenders because my son has been an ex-offender. So I always felt that I would want somebody to help him. So I do the same thing myself. I help people. I give people that come home, jobs. Some of them work out, some of them don't. Some of them just want the job so they can tell their PO. But I'm satisfied in helping, doing something that I love to do. I take pleasure in giving people jobs. Because this is something I'm able to do right now. I wasn't always able to help people. So now that I'm in a position, I take great joy in it. When I come out there and they say that food is good, and on the other hand, an in might call and say, Miss Robbie, I just came home. Can you give me a job? Come on, I'm gonna give you
this. Did you got a boyfriend?
No, girl, I can't find no boyfriend.
We got it. It's difficult, right?
It is. There's nothing to choose from.
Because so much has been done to them.
Yes.
There've been, drugs have been brought into them. They've been incarcerated, no education, no opportunities, and they've been scorned. And then we talk about them in such a negative way. Boy, you just like your daddy. You're going to grow up to be just like him. I'm like, wait a minute. You can't stop.
That's right.
Stop talking to your son like that. Give him a chance to be who he should be.
That's
and
true.
who he can be and would be. Stop saying negative things to, please just repeat that and tell these mothers, do not say that to us, because our children are some kind of miracles. And I'll say this on my show and I'll say it now. You know what? There is no other, think about this, no other group of people whose music and poetry, some of it's really bad, but it's emulated around the world. We don't sing Chinese songs. We don't sing Indian songs. We don't sing, the world sings our songs. Right. And repeat. That's power. That's if we can start talking about things that make sense and not nonsense, yes, we would be so much. But I want us to understand how powerful we are, and hopefully along the way, they'll start thinking about that. Don't let me do this. Don't let me do that or say that. Let me say something that's going to make a difference and it's going to uplift God's children, right, and particularly our community.
And we should do more of that. I agree. I mean, it's like women for years wouldn't tell another woman how nice they look. That's the first thing I say when girl, you look good.
And we need that. We
Yes,
need that.
yes. I mean, what's wrong with giving another person a compliment? It's
yeah.
just, we've been just raised wrong, I guess. But I love to give compliments and I like to receive them too. But I don't have no problem giving them and giving, the propers where they're due. I don't have a problem with that. I'm glad to see our Black women open their own business, our Black men. I always, if I know it's a Black business, I go and try it. I support everything. I don't care if it's a lemonade, hog pen, or whatever. I support every Black thing that I come across.
And we all should do that. And we'll grow and we'll become more powerful.
Yeah.
Kalita, you're doing this in such a way that impacts us so deeply. So I wanted to find out more. Are you teaching your people how to manage their money, their benefits, and how to take care, how to go to school and prepare your families, and just keep a roof over their heads? Tell us about this organization.
Okay, so yeah, we provide very individualized support. So just to give you a quick rundown with how we do what we do. So folks come in, we get referrals from all these agencies. Lots of agencies call us. They say they have clients who would benefit from our services. I would say maybe like at least 85 to 93% of our clients have a substance use disorder along with a mental health disorder. A lot of our clients, not a lot, but a significant number, if they come to us homeless, that's our first priority, is to try to get them housed. Because we provide individualized asset management services, and when we say assets, we manage their entitlements. We make sure they're met because our clients are disabled, because they're getting benefits from the Social Security Administration. So because of our experience in the field, we're able to know how to access certain things. Access is a big thing in our community because because we all have heard, such and such get this and such get that, and I can't get nothing. You always hear people say that, but the word is access. So you have to know how to navigate the system. So folks come in, they meet with us, we do a pre-screening assessment. One of the things we ask our clients on our pre-screening assessment is, what are your 3 financial goals? Because it's important for us to know that when we start talking about discretionary spending. Now, as far as our organization is concerned, because we do deal with people with severe illnesses, chronic homelessness, substance use, long history, development delays. So these people are very vulnerable to all type of things. And so when they come into our organization, we don't judge you. We're not trying to change anything about you, but we're going to bring some stability into your life. And so they meet with us monthly. We say, these are your bills, because we pay the bills. That's something we do not compromise on. We're going to pay your rent and we're going to pay your utilities. We're going to make sure you have food. A lot of our clients get subsidized housing. So if your check is, around the 790s, we're able to pay your rent and you still have a little bit of money to work with. And then we start saying, okay, and we show them, this is how much your rent was, because we do a budget every month. This is your rent. This is how much your gas bill, this is what your light bill was, this is what you have left. And then we talk about how you want to spend it. We make budget recommendations. Our goal is that our clients have money all month long, because we deal with clients who are in certain lifestyles. We do not judge your lifestyle, but what we help you to do is manage it. We help you manage it. If you have a substance use disorder, and before you met us, every time you got your check, it went to your dealer, then once, and it takes a while to break some of these cycles. It's not something that happens overnight, but because of the way in which we deal with our clients, and it's like, hey, okay, we're not judging your issues. We give a certain amount. You can come in here. We have walk-in days. You come in here. We make recommendations. But what we see happening is incremental change. And so once a person gets stable, once they get housed, they know that nobody's going to be putting notes on their door saying they owe money, because a lot of that drives, anxiety, depression, people who have very severe illnesses and substance use disorders, if your check is going, you get your check on the 3rd and it's going on the 5th, that will make anybody nervous and depressed.
Yeah.
And then couple that with schizophrenia or clinical depression or PTSD. So you don't know what to do. So you just continue to get high and get high and you dig yourself into this hole. So then when we come in and we say, hey, you know what? Your rent is paid. Your lights are not going to get cut off. Your gas is, so then it helps them. And you start seeing these incremental changes. So a true story, we have a client who was pretty bad off, he was very homeless, chronic homeless. And he was using the hospitals as a way to deal with that homelessness. So he would go into the different hospitals and say he was suicidal and get a couple of days, rest and stuff. And so we had this program that started here called Hospital to Housing. And it would take what they call those frequent flyers and put them into housing. And it was like a little pilot thing. And so we had a guy, and 1 month he did like maybe 58 ER visits. Okay. So once he became our client, just the incremental issues with it. So what started to happen after about 3 or 4 months, he wanted a cell phone. So now, because our goal is not just to make sure people bills are paid. Our goal and our mission is to improve the wellness outcomes of the people which we are serving. And we do this by addressing the social determinants of wellness. The social determinants of wellness are housing, food, utilities, religion, familial relationships, those social determinants of wellness. So even though we're doing it through an economic mode, ultimately, our goal is for you to stop running to the hospital because we want you to stabilize. So with him, what ended up happening when he asked for a cell phone, so now it's like, because he was never able to keep a cell phone before, so that's an incremental change, and it's for the positive because now he can do telehealth. Now his case managers can get in touch with him. Now his sister can call him. And now he's housed, and we make sure he stays housed. He comes, sees us twice a week. We tell our clients we have 2 days a week that you can just walk in. You don't have to have an appointment. And we talk to you, and we have a minimal, a maximum amount that we give at one time. And it's quite a lot because remember, we're paying their bills. So anything we give you is discretionary outside of your bills. So our maximum amount is like $250 or something. And we'll talk with them and see how it's going and stuff like that. And we do a lot of other stuff. We make sure our clients have transportation. Transportation is important. We believe in the name of our organization is Empower Me. And we believe just that we're here to empower you, not for you to live off the system.
This is amazing. And my baby girl up there, Miss Robbie, what are you doing?
Well, I supported I was going to give this concert, and we were going to, expose people to make them aware of this mental health and the homeless people, because people pass by and they don't really realize this might be a homeless person. When I pass people that are homeless, I wonder, how did they get there? What happened in their life? Because it could happen to me. Now, you don't have to have, you could be homeless with money. I've been hungry with money. Out so late, there's no restaurant open. I had money, but there was no place to get food. So it doesn't mean that you're broke all the time and you can be homeless. It's a lot of things. I've been homeless because I couldn't afford the place I wanted. Mm-hmm. So I would wait and do something else. So it can happen to anybody. And when I see people under the bridge or on the corner with a sign, my heart goes out and I'm like, I wonder what happened in their life that they ended up.
It's so interesting because today I was down at the Grand Central Station down there at the Apple store, and they went to the bathroom, and a couple of things. There was I could tell the woman was homeless. She was in the mirror. There's a lot of times they're mentally not all there also. Right. And she's just trying to fix her hair and looking in the mirror. And I was washing my hands next to her, and I gave her my comb,
Okay.
so that she could, fix her hair.
Uh-huh.
And then she said, "Oh, thank you so much," and because she was just trying to do it with her fingers. And then I said, she said, I'm about to have a baby. I was raped. Broke my heart, So and then I had a $20 bill and a $1 bill, and I always give the 20. Because I used to be almost homeless myself. Wow. I never quite got there, but I was close to it. So I have great compassion and understanding why they do what they do, what happens to them. Not like what you're talking about, because this is crazy what you're doing. I just want to ask a couple more questions. First of all, I want to know how people can help you. The other thing is, how do you get it into other cities, other states, this program that you're talking about? And how did you start in the first place? How many people work for you? How big is that organization?
Okay. So, your first question was how can we get this into, I don't know if this is your first question, but one of your questions was how can we get into other cities?
You answer whatever you want to.
Yeah. Payee services are all over the country. Because it's something that goes with Social Security Administration and the VA, because they recognize that there are individuals who just cannot manage their money, because that's why a lot of them have Social Security benefits, because they have been determined to be disabled and not able to become gainfully employed. And so there are organizations all over the country that provide this type of service. We know about it. I know about it because of the work I did in the community as a community mental health worker. And so I had clients who we referred to different, in our area, there are only 3 payee services. And we're one of the 3. Now, oftentimes Social Security would like for a family member or a friend to serve in that capacity. But what we found that increases the exploitation, because a lot of times family is the one that gets you. And so they'll say, I'll get your check, I'll keep your check, I'll make sure you have money. But then when the checks start coming in, then things change, because things change. And so the Social Security Administration recognized that there is a need for people like ourselves. How we started the business was that just deciding that we wasn't going to go back to the organization and having a discussion. Me and my partner saying, because my gift, my service, my calling is to help individuals with mental health. That's what God called me to. And so having a discussion with someone else who also calling is to help individuals with mental health, we were able to sit down and say, where can we be most impactful? And where we can be most impactful is helping people to manage their money.
Okay, let me ask you.
Because money is a big thing. It's a big deal. And so
I want to ask you, how did you start? How do you, is this in other cities? If I'm
sorry, it's kind of choppy.
Huh? If I'm in Chicago, if I'm out there listening to you,
said,
how do I get in touch with an organization like yours, but I'm not where you are? I'm in Chicago, or I'm in Detroit.
You can call the Social Security Administration.
And they'll tell
you can call the Social Security Administration.
What you do is all over the United States? No.
Not what we do. Not what we do. Because what we do is special. Because we provide comprehensive services. Now, payee services are all over the United States. And so it's the way that they address it. We look at the whole individual, and we try to provide what we call wraparound supports, because we know what resources are out there through our experience, and we know what really helps people. We talk about the social safety net, but I like to say we need to not make it a net and make it a kind of like a, what you call it, a pallet, something that you can't fall through, something that once you fall, it helps you to spring back up, but so in And what we do, there are organizations that provide payee services, but they just may pay your bills and give you the rest of the money, and that's it. They're not going to sit down with you and say, let's make sure your Medicaid stays on. Let's make sure you're getting all the money that's due to you. Let's apply for utility assistance. Let's apply for what they call QMB. There's all type of programs that we know about and that we introduce our clients to, but you can call Social Security Administration and you can ask for organizational payee in your area and they will give you a number. But the things that we do are very unique to our organization.
It sounds
right
like
now we have 2 full-time employees and 1 part-time employee. The thing that I think that we need the most, of course, is support and capital. That any nonprofit needs capital. Any nonprofit needs support. And so that is what
how can they support you? Tell us how they can support you. Tell our listeners how they can support you. How do they get in touch with you?
How can they get in touch with us? They can just call us. Our number is 314-925-9212. We service individuals in the state of Missouri, all over the state.
Repeat that.
314-925-9212.
Okay, great. This is wonderful. Now, let me ask a couple of questions. Like, I'm talking about mental illness now. You know, well, the rich and famous, they deal with issues like poor people do also, and they have unhappiness and problems too, right? Do you agree? You, Miss Sweetie Pie?
I agree.
Yeah. So I think we need this for all of us.
I think it's a wonderful thing, and I mean,
I do too. I would love to have it.
It should be, that was one of my reasons for trying to help, so there would be an awareness of this.
Yes.
Because you see people on the corner, and like she said, sometimes families do take the money, and the people are still left alone. So I think what she's doing is a wonderful thing. That's why I tried to become involved in it, because my family has been touched by it, so I understand.
Well, when I mental, what's going on? I move away from this a little bit, but I want to talk a little bit about the 4,100 problems that happened on several airlines. People being duct taped to their seat, 22-year-old white male and a 13-year-old black teenager. People going crazy. I needed to. I need to know, what are we going to be doing about this pandemic because of the craziness. I think, people are not, how do we manage this? People don't know what to do. They're doing things outside of the norm, I feel. Do you agree?
Yes, I totally agree. I'm sorry, was that question for me?
Yeah, what can we do to there's so many people doing things outside of the norm. Well, there's a lot of, I think, psychological problems here.
But the thing is, and that's the thing, is probably really not so much outside of their norm, because they're mentally ill. So it's not outside of their norm. So what we can do as individuals who may not be diagnosed with a mental health condition is, first off, kind of be more compassionate and kind of try to, oftentimes when we see those videos, it is in a way to kind of make fun of the person. Mm-hmm. But these people are usually having some type of crisis and they need some medical intervention. They need to be maybe hospitalized. And if we could start looking at it from a medical standpoint instead of they're just crazy, because they're not crazy, they're ill. And so when we see someone who may be having what we call a medical issue, we're there to help them. Someone with diabetes, they sugar get low, everybody's looking for a piece of candy to give them.
Yes.
But now we have someone with illness who's on a plane having a crisis, and we think it's appropriate to take them to their seat, and that's not appropriate.
It's not.
The appropriate thing to do is to remove them somehow. Remove them from that audience and try to de-escalate the situation. It will benefit certain fields that deal with people from different walks of life who deal with different issues, to maybe have someone on staff who can recognize when someone is having a mental illness situation and provide what we call mental health aid, mental health awareness, mental health crisis. But because we as a society look at mental health in such a way that we shun, and there's so much stigma around mental health, that we don't have the compassion that we need to have, and we like to just say, well, they're just crazy, and then post these videos and everyone laughs, but this person is really in distress. This person is in distress.
Oh, this has been enlightening. I'm so glad I got a chance to meet these two incredible women, you know, and Miss Robbie, I would like to stay in touch with you also on your journey, and be a friend. And especially to you, Kalita, anything you need for us to know that can help our community, you just give us a call, okay? Or have Miss Robbie, the two of you all come on and say, listen, we found out about this, or this was a program we started, it was very successful, and give me some people who have come out of this program and done well, so that people listening can say, I can do this. I'm going to call them. I'm not going to be afraid. I need this. You know, this is very important. This has been a beautiful evening talking to you all. And Miss Robbie, you and I are going to be, you know, the Robbieettes, because I can dance, honey.
All right, baby. Well, come on, sweetie. I got you a little tutu ready. Come on.
I appreciate you all. You're making me feel so good. It's a beautiful, fulfilling way to help heal others, you know, by healing others. God bless you. Thank you for blessing us with your faces, hearts, and your mission. Good night.
Thank you for having us. God bless.
Thank you so much.